Hello and welcome back to another Mission Chief tutorial video. It's been a little while since I've made one of these, but on today's episode we're going to be talking about rescue engines. Now, rescue engines are probably one of my favorite pieces of equipment, most useful, most cheesy pieces of apparatus out there, and let's take a look at them. So before we get started, you do need to reach the captain rank in order to get these. The captain rank is obtained once you reach 5 million credits. That's a little bit of a wall if you're a newer player, but it's a lot. I will say that 5 million credits is a lot for a new player. But once you reach it, it is very well worth it. All right, let's take a look at this rescue engine. So the rescue engine is a max crew of 6. Water amount is 750 gallons of the tank. It carries 25 gallons of foam, and it has a 2,000 gallon per minute pump. Now this pump, I'm not exactly sure this pump capacity. This is a new update with the disaster response and water damage type thing they put in there. So this is all new. But the price of the rescue engine is $19,000. That's a little hefty for, I guess, newer players, but it's definitely worth it. So the way I play it, the rescue engine is it acts as an engine and a heavy rescue. So I replaced all of my Type 1s and my Type 2s with the rescue engine. So I don't have any Type 1s or Type 2s in any of my areas. And I have a very, very large service area. If we just take a look at my service area, I'm in San Francisco, San Mateo, Santa Cruz counties, 3 counties, and then we have King County in Seattle, and then we have a bunch of other stuff here. So I'm in a lot of areas, and every single one of my stations doesn't have a Type 1 or Type 2 engine. It has the rescue engine. Now, I'm going to explain to you guys why I picked the rescue engine over the Type 1 and Type 2, but by picking the rescue engine, there is a few drawbacks, but they're really not too crazy at all. Okay, let's just get started and kind of show you guys what the rescue engine does, and then I'll explain to you guys why I have the rescue engine. So if we take a look here at this truck in-house wall, we're going to spawn one engine. And now, since every single one of my stations has the rescue engine, it really doesn't matter what engine arrives because they're all going to be the same, I guess, certification. They're all going to be a rescue engine. Like, let's say if this Type 5, or sorry, not Type 5, if this Fire Station 5 had a Type 1 engine at it, and the Fire Station 10 had a rescue engine, it would be a little bit more difficult with ARRs. Alarm and regulation responses. Now, ARRs are a little bit more complicated, but once you get a good plan in place, you can do some damage with ARRs in a good way. So this engine's almost here, and I'll show you guys kind of what happens here. As you guys can see, this call requires 3 fire engines and 1 heavy rescue vehicle. It'll be arriving here in 5 seconds. So in 5 seconds, we'll update the call, and I'll show you guys kind of what it does here. All right, mission updated reload. So the call now requires 2 fire trucks. So before it required 3 fire trucks and 1 heavy rescue vehicle. As the rescue engine acts as a fire truck and a heavy rescue, it's a 2-in-1. It just solved our heavy rescue problem. Now the heavy rescues in this game are they're required on almost every single one of the calls, like a truck and house wall, very basic call. But if you have only 4 heavy rescues in your city, or if you only have 1 heavy rescue in your city, you are in deep, deep doo-doo. Especially if you have multiple calls going at the same time, you're going to need heavy rescues badly. Now, if your city has no heavy rescues, that's also a big, big problem. A lot of cities and small towns don't have heavy rescue vehicles, so they just have engines with stuff in them, jaws or other sorts of bars. But yeah, it's a no-no. Now, if we take a look at a call like a refinery fire, now this is a major one, but it'll kind of just give you a little grasp on kind of what's going on here. It requires 8 heavy rescue vehicles. All right. So with that being said, this call requires 8. Now, if we look at San Francisco, city of San Francisco has Rescue Squad 1, Rescue Squad 2, Light Rescue 7, right over here, and Light Rescue 5, and then we scroll all the way down here. We have HLRV, which is a heavy lift rescue vehicle, which is pretty much like a tow truck, crane type thing. But in the whole city of San Francisco, there was 5 heavy rescues. Now, with this many stations, it will generate so many different calls. Let's just head over to San Francisco real quick and kind of show you guys what's going on here. Now, the city of San Francisco starts right over here. You can see this little purple line here. It goes up, and then, of course, all the rest of this land here. This is how many calls we have in San Francisco right now. A fire in a fast food restaurant most likely requires a heavy rescue vehicle. And a lot of this trench rescues requires a heavy rescue vehicle. So we're already at 2 heavy rescues required so far. The brush pile does not. Manhole fire. But a lot of these calls require heavy rescues, and I would be out of heavy rescues very quickly if I did not use rescue engines. Now, I use rescue engines everywhere, so it really doesn't matter kind of what I do. But I hope that kind of explains why I use rescue engines, and I'll just give you one last example here. Okay, so if every single one of my fire stations has a rescue engine at it, and I responded 20 of those fire trucks, 20 of those rescue engines to this refinery fire. Once the 8 arrived on scene, 8 of the rescue engines arrived on scene, it would mop up this need for the heavy rescue vehicle. Pretty basic. So I would not need any more heavy rescues there. And then the other 12 fire engines would arrive on scene and kind of do their thing. But they would still be acting as their engine. So that pretty much requires, that tells you everything you need to know about rescue engines. If you guys have any other questions regarding rescue engines, drop them down below. I can definitely answer any of those things. But there's one last stipulation you guys need to know about. And that's to do with trailers. Now, if your city or town has a trailer, let's say a boat trailer, maybe a hazmat trailer or something like that, pulling behind an engine or a utility vehicle, you just need to know about this. So let's take a look back at, let's just go to the station here. Let's go to vehicle market and then let's go to trailers. Now with trailers, they can only be pulled by certain units. If we take a look at this mobile air trailer, the mobile air can only be pulled by a utility unit, a battalion chief unit, a type 1 fire engine, a type 2, and a heavy rescue vehicle. It does not say rescue engine in here. So if you have a trailered unit, it cannot be pulled by a rescue engine. Just want to make that clear. So that could cause some problems down the road. Nothing too big, but if you do have a utility unit or a battalion in that station, they can pull it. That goes with a lot of these other pieces of equipment here, these other trailers. That's the only drawback I really saw with the rescue engine. But other than that, it's a very, very good vehicle. I would highly recommend, if you have reached the captain level, I would suggest changing every single one of your engines to the rescue engine. It cuts down on travel time, it makes money quicker, and it's just all around a good piece of equipment. All right, that wraps it up. If you guys have any other questions, like I said, drop them down below, and I will see you guys on the next one. Later.